Hello, welcome to Serving the Valley. I'm Roy Justice, your host for today's edition. Serving the Valley. This is a Cedar Falls television production that, as I've said many times before, tries to get you up close and personal with some of the great people who make this a great place to call home. And I have a couple examples with me. But before I get there, I was driving around town. Actually, I was driving around another town the other day, and I came upon an interesting sign, and the sign said, Trinkets and Togs. And I said, gee, what is that? Well, I didn't stop. I drove on. It wasn't a long time after that, I saw something in the paper, I think it was, that said Trinkets and Togs. And I said, oh, really? I wonder what that's all about. Got in my car, was on my way downtown, and I passed by a building and it said Trinkets and Togs. Okay already, what's going on here? Then I went to a service club meeting and there was Trinkets and Togs being talked about again. Enough of that. Let's find out what this is all about. So I went into Trinkets and Togs, and I invite you to do the same thing. As a matter of fact, I have some people here who are going to help us accept the invitation. These are individuals who are at, believe it or not, Trinkets and Togs. Christina Fleming and Lori Shepard have joined me here on the set, and welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Trinkets and Togs. Okay, if you had to describe it, well, you've got a couple of minutes to describe it. But before we do that, there's an umbrella organization over Trinkets and Togs, which, by the way, I guess is a thrift store, but so much more than that. Let's talk about the Larrabee organization. Can we start there and then how it breaks down to why Trinkets and Togs exists?
Sure. The Larrabee Center is a provider to deliver support services for people with disabilities. And the Trinkets and Togs thrift store is a division of the Larrabee Center.
Okay. Yeah. Now, a little bit later in the program, you're going to get a little more detail about the Larrabee Center and some of those services. But Christina and Lori Shepard, you're familiar with Trinkets and Togs because you've been there, both of you been there for a while. It started not in Cedar Falls. Where did Trinkets and Togs come from at the beginning?
Well, actually, it was the Bremer County Poor Farm that was out on Highway 63
Yes.
outside of Waverly. And in 1989, that had privatized and became the Larrabee Center,
Okay.
where we had residents living there, and then eventually they moved into their own places, and we moved our facility into Waverly, and then we started a thrift store in 1996.
Okay, so some background on that before we get down to the thrift store. There are a lot of services that the Larrabee Center offers to the general public.
Sure. We support people with cognitive and intellectual disabilities, brain injuries, the elderly, people with a mental illness, and also transitioning youth. We recently expanded our services to include young adults transitioning out of high school and making their first steps into the working world. And so we provide community-based services where we go into the home and we assist people to live independently in their community. There we would provide grocery shopping and transportation to the doctors or eye appointment and pharmacy. We go into the home, we help with housekeeping and money management and get people what they need to live healthy and live well in the community. We also have community support services, and that just has an array of services from getting individual job coaching to having groups of people work together, what we call small group supported employment. We do help them with resume writing and gaining work experience, developing soft skills, which is building your confidence, building how you work with others, how you communicate, how you time manage. And we just do an array of services there, and we're in the community and with fellow businesses. But that's where individual employers, but Trinkets and Togs is our environment for people to get their first employment experiences.
Okay.
And job training, where they work with a job coach. They work side by side with people that with disabilities and without disabilities. So our retail staff are very well versed in working with people with disabilities. It's a stepping stone
Okay.
And also in like Cedar Falls, we offer work experience to the Cedar Falls High School, community schools, and students could get some experience with working in a retail environment and working with others. So we do that in our Waverly, Grundy, and Cedar Falls stores, where we offer work experience and a volunteer opportunity for people to get their feet wet with the working world.
Let's go shopping.
Okay,
Let's go shopping.
Let's do it.
Very interesting. We'll come back to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
again
yeah.
in our break. But Trinkets and Togs, the store, first of all, first impression, when I walked in, and this is just, I've been in there a couple of times now and made some purchases, it is so neat. I mean, it's just well organized, and there's some things that kind of hit you right when you walk in the door, and then you want to go deeper and you want to look further, and but it's so neatly done. I guess that's a little bit of credit to you and your staff.
Yes, we have some wonderful staff that work for Trinkets and Togs, and we look at our store. It's more like a boutique. It's not your typical
There's the
thrift
word.
store.
Yes.
And we have so many community followers that appreciate what we are doing, that we decorate it and move things around because we want it to be shopper friendly for anybody that comes into those stores. We appreciate everybody who donates to us and for all our shoppers.
Excellent. There are some hours that are available online, so people don't have to take notes right away. But for that general information, you're open how often and when?
In Cedar Falls, we're open Monday through Saturday. We open up at 10 o'clock in the morning and we close at 6. Then on Saturdays, we're open from 10 to 5.
Okay.
And we take donations during those business hours as well.
And the store is closed on Sundays. As far as what you accept, what you don't accept and so forth, that information is also available online.
That information is available, and it's really good for you to get onto the website to really understand what we take and what we're not able to take. We take gently used items in all 3 stores, clothing and your housewares and antiques and more. In our Cedar Falls store, we're not able to really take the books and furniture at this time, but we take anything else that can be put on our shelves. So I always look at it like if you have somebody that's moving into college or moving into an apartment, check out Trinkets and Togs first, because we have so many items there that are repurposed, so people can buy those because they're very gently used and could save a lot of money.
It's a great, I was going to say recycling center, in a regard, it really
Yeah.
is. Yes, and that effort is still underway.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit, if we can, too, about, we mentioned early on, the services provided by the center, your umbrella organization, if you will. How long has that organization been in existence?
Sure. Well, the Larrabee Center has been operating for over 30 years.
Okay.
And Trinkets and Togs for about 25 years now. Although we're new in Cedar Falls, our Waverly home base is 25 years. And the revenue of the thrift store supports our programs and services.
Okay.
We're a human service organization, we're a nonprofit, and along with grants and fundraising, the thrift store supports, keeps us going, keeps our mission going, keeps our employees, being able to serve and support our mission. And so the thrift store customer is just not a retail customer.
True.
They're supporting
Yes.
our mission.
Okay.
They're supporting clients and individuals with disabilities. And that's why it's so important. You were saying the thrift store is so clean. We keep on having our customers compliment on this, how clean it is, how it doesn't smell bad, how
Right.
organized
Yes,
it is. And,
yes.
and once somebody becomes a Trinkets and Togs customer, both a shopper and a donor, they keep on coming back. And they're more than a customer, they become family, they become friends. They engage with our clients, our retail staff. They know us, and their support means everything. It's it's community at its best. It really is, working together to make a difference. Trinkets and Togs, we like to say, you're shopping for a cause, and it's retail for a mission. And we can get into the whole recycling aspect of it, where we're going green. We're really like in Cedar Falls, we're supporting the Cedar Falls community by keeping stuff out of the landfill,
Right.
And repurposing it, reusing it, recycling it. And I think that's a big issue in today's world.
You bet. More of that backstory I was talking about is about what you are going to see unfold right now.
The mission of the Larrabee Center is to assist individuals with disabilities to become or remain valued members of the community. Some folks that we work with have no background in employment, and some have had employment in the past and struggled. They're looking for meaningful careers where they can have a purpose, have the dignity of work, and like all of us, be able to answer that question, what do you do?
The thrift store is like the fundraiser for our program. There's clients that work both out in the store and back in the processing areas. They're putting items in the store, they're helping at the cash register, sometimes they're just helping bag items. CUNA Mutual has always just been a really great support for what we do.
It really hits home to me because my son has some unique needs as well. When I first was introduced to that organization, I could see my son participating. As a mom, you're always looking for ways to help your children. And when you have a child, any child that has some unique needs, then you know that there's limited opportunities. But this one really opened my eyes to knowing that anything he wanted to do was possible.
Our relationship with CUNA Mutual Group has just been phenomenal. They work right alongside us, both in the thrift store and advancing our employment services mission in the community. And knowing that they support what we do really means a lot to us. We know that the work we do is important for the individuals that we serve, but for them to support that as well just helps to further our mission.
Silicon Valley continues, and we are into Trinkets and Togs. And if you haven't been into Trinkets and Togs, here's the invitation. Christina and Lori are issuing that. They're ready to welcome you there. The other way that you can actually get into Trinkets and Togs is by volunteering. There are opportunities for that as well, are there not?
Yeah, there's many opportunities. A lot of organizations help us with clothing drives. Churches and community groups such as the Lions and the Rotary, and banks and even schools help us by doing a collection at their place of business. And Lori, how about our volunteer opportunities at Cedar Falls?
We've got some great opportunities. We're partnering right now with the Cedar Falls Community School, North Star Community Services, and even the Nazareth Lutheran Church had helped us in many ways. And then we've got other volunteers that are coming in, individual ones that just wants to help and help with a mission because they know what we're all about. And we're always looking for volunteers. So if you look on our website, or you can call our store and inquire about it, and that's 319-260-2237.
As far as where are you? I know I said at the beginning of our program here that I'd done some driving around, and I wasn't here in Cedar Falls. Where was I when I saw Trinkets and Togs? I had to have been...
Yeah, Waverly.
Waverly is probably the first spot.
We're in Waverly, Grundy Center, and now Cedar Falls.
Okay, now I want to get to your location in Cedar Falls. How do I get there?
It's off University Avenue. It's by College Square. It's adjacent to Slumberland.
The new Slumberland
New
location.
Slumberland
yes.
location. And so it's just adjacent on the other side there. And we have a big awning there it says Trinkets and Togs, and that's where you take your donations. And we even got a doorbell on that pole on there. So I want to make sure everybody knows that if they need help bringing in donations, because we want to help our customers.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a brand new building. The Slumberland Furniture, the Davis family, were
Yes.
big supporters in helping us get that building ready and build it out. And it's a beautiful space. Just Dough is there too. So both the Slumberland family and the Just Dough Scratch Cupcake people have been such a support to us, as because starting a new store was monumental. Getting it ready and all the steps that we had to do. And so we have great neighbors. And Cedar Falls, I made a joke, says Cedar Falls, they let us cross the border And why did we pick Cedar Falls? I mean, it's
That was
amazing
my next question.
community.
That was my next question.
It's an amazing community. It's growing leaps and bounds, and has such opportunity and such diversity, and it has such an element of philanthropy and giving and nurturing your neighbors. And back to the volunteer opportunities, even if you have a couple hours or an hour, or if you want to come join us for a during a vacation or mini vacation, it doesn't have to be ongoingly. It could be for a special project or for a short duration. And but once you start, you're hooked. You're hooked on Trinkets and Togs. It's our mission.
It's a shame you're not enthused about it. Let me talk to you, too, about something in the retail store operation, the thrift store operation. There was something, and this happened a while back, but, and again, keeping in mind when we're producing this program, this might not be going on right now, but check online, something called a flash sale. Now, flash sales happen when you have either too much of something or you want to have fun with a flash sale. Explain what the flash sale is.
Well, flash sale is an impromptu sale that we'll have in the store. The beauty of a thrift store, you never know what kind of goods are coming into the store. We don't order our items,
Sure.
so you never know what we have that we have too much of, or if the store is getting full. And that's just a way to give back to the community, give great deals to our customers. Plus, it's a way for us to be able to move some of those items out of the store so we can put new stuff in.
The one I saw, I can't even think what the items were, but normally they're like $3 and they were marked down like 50 cents.
And that sale happened to be our children's clothing.
Okay.
Because we have so much of it, and we appreciate all those donations, but we just knew we had to bring more in, so what do you do? So we want to give back to the community and have these different sales. We'll continue always having different sales, so always like us on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll show that. So.
Okay, excellent. Well, there's a good example right there. That's what's happening, folks, inside the walls of Trinkets and Togs. And now that you know what it's all about, you have absolutely no excuse for not going in and checking it out yourself.
Right.
Yeah, we do want to give back to the community and give back to families that, let's face it, families these days are on a budget. There's a lot of challenges to make your dollar stretch, and Trinkets and Togs provides that by really offering affordable clothing, affordable house goods.
Okay.
So it's our way of supporting the people that support us.
So let's review again. The location is right next to the Slumberland location, right off University. The hours, again, of operation are Monday through Friday from
10 to 6 o'clock, and then on Saturdays we're open from 10 to 5.
If you have any question about what it is you think they may be able to recycle, there would be a phone number they should call just to explain what they have before they load it up and bring it down to the door.
Right.
And that phone number
It's
is?
319-260-2237.
Okay.
Yeah, reach out. We got a very active Facebook, and our website is just beautiful. Actually, our website, the UNI students came on board and assisted us by creating that. We're very grateful for UNI and their tech people, a bunch of brilliant young people. And our Facebook is very active, and both the Larrabee Center Facebook and the Trinkets and Togs. So we have 2 Facebook pages going, and you could get the latest on that, latest news.
And an example right here is if you have an organization, a neighborhood group, or a church organization, or a service club, and you'd like to hear more about what you just heard about, get in touch with them, because that's how I heard about Trinkets and Togs, other than driving past that sign in, I guess we said it must have been Waverly. It was a service club organization. They have a great presentation they can make to your organization as well. So thank you. Thank you for being here to service us.
Thank you for having us.
Christina and Lori, they are from Trinkets and Togs, and now you can say you know exactly what that's all about. Thanks for joining us. Another edition, Serving the Valley. Until the next edition unfolds, Serving the Valley myself, I'm Roy Justice.